Oh yeah, we back. This is the Gentleman's Talk podcast. I got a powerful brother that finally I got to meet. Shout out to whatever he stands for, but he's one of the best artists I know in real lifetime. Please introduce yourself, bro.
Hey, it's quite the intro. I appreciate you. My name is Raheem Nelson, visual artist, creative entrepreneur, photographer, cinematographer, and graphic recorder. I do a ton of different things. Looking forward to being on here. I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Y'all met him through Calvin X, and shout out to him, yo, being part of Sky Zoo, yo. Anybody go check out the book this man wrote about, and we're gonna talk about that too. And shout out to Sky Zoo, they had a wonderful collaboration.
Absolutely.
If y'all not listening to these Jews, y'all tripping. And I ain't dick riding, I'm just keeping it to the facts. These are powerful gentlemen, and I appreciate both of them and getting to meet them and for them to be part of my life and my success. Hey, bro, give me a little background of who you are.
Definitely. So I'm a born and raised New Haven-based, West Haven now, but New Haven-based artist. Grew up in New Haven. I went to Whipple Cross and then the Educational Center for the Arts, ECA. I have been into cartooning since I was a kid, and that was like the jumping off point for everything for me. So Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, for the Archie comics, video games.
I like Sonic.
Yeah, I'm a huge Sonic fan. And, so my parents used to draw for me. You know, my dad draws with both hands. My mom's a seamstress. Mom also draws. Extremely creative. And they always fostered art in me. I didn't quite know what it would look like. I knew it was going to be art. But like I think from, I'll say second grade all the way through mostly college, it was comic books, comic books, comic books. And I felt like, okay, like it has to be that. Like I'm going to be working for Marvel, that's going to be the goal. You know, I've met a lot of my heroes in Marvel, you know, they're cartoonists and stuff.
Shout out to that.
Really cool. But I kind of transitioned into illustration and design, now also marketing and videography. So what started in comics and storytelling has just kind of branched off into so many other different directions, and I absolutely love it.
Shout out to that, yo. We appreciate that. So now we're going to test some of your knowledge. Just a little bit, not that much, but a little bit. I like to touch people's knowledge. What's the definition of multiply?
Multiply. So when I think of multiply, I think of multiplying oneself. Like, for instance, my wife and I have a business we're working on called the Epic Network, and we are running events, doing that hands-on. We want to be able to multiply ourselves so we can have other people doing it, other regions, other continents. So taking one, turning it into two, turning it into 4, 6, 8, you know, you get the idea. But the idea would be to be good at something, teach it, pass it on to somebody else, so they can either be a part of the business, have a mentorship type of thing. So you're multiplying yourself in a sense.
So now that you said that, I'm happy that you broke it down like that.
Yeah.
So you broke it down how Terrence Howard broke it down.
Okay.
I ain't shout out to Terrence Howard because I was seeing where you're going. So why in the education system they teach the youth 1 times 1 is 1?
Yeah. That's funny that you mentioned the educational system too, because I went to public school, I was a public school paraprofessional, and I just see what's being taught. And like I think I learned the most in art college and then after art college. That's kind of creating and curating my own education. Like, okay, I learned this, this, and this, but I'm interested in this. It's not being taught in schools. Let me dig a little deeper and see what I can find out. So I think schools kind of perpetuate the fact that they want people to be fit into a certain box. Like, you know, they say, oh, art's not profitable, go do this, that, and the third. So the arts aren't really valued in public education in general, in my opinion.
You're very politically correct, because the art and all types of art is the only way to financial success if you're into that type of freedom.
Yeah. And arts are in everything.
And a lot of people don't know that. So now I'm about to get a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on the skull and bones at the Yale University cult?
So I'm aware of it. I don't have the absolute most knowledge on it, but I have family in Yale. I know some of the presidents that have gone to Yale and all that. So it's like I'm always mindful of stuff that is potentially going on behind the scenes, and that how that could be affecting like Greater New Haven, for example, the arts and culture in New Haven. I've had some issues with arts and culture in New Haven from time to time. You know, like there sometimes feel like there can be cliques. Like, okay, this person knows this person. You can't get in unless you know this person or that person. So I think it's like with anything. Like you got to find where you fit in, and then try to do it as most integrity that you can have. And I think that is where some people can be lacking. Like, well, I have to step on you to get to the top. Like, that's never been something I'm about. Like, I have mentors and mentees, and like, if I didn't have my mentors, I would not know half of the stuff I know. So I'm going to pass that stuff on, and I'm not ever going to step on anybody else to get ahead.
This is a sharp judge gentleman, yo. In the future, I'm about to get dressed like this nigga. You know, when y'all see this picture, no, this is a sharp gentleman, yo. I'm happy that he came to join the podcast. I really appreciate it. We appreciate that feedback on the Yale University Bones quote. I appreciate that. If you have been incarcerated, I already know you haven't, but if you have been incarcerated, give us an incarcerated story for those that end up in that path. But if you haven't, do you know people that walk down that path, and how could you help them navigate through that situation?
So you're just asking all the right questions for one, CJ. Like, man, so I personally haven't been incarcerated, but my brother-in-law has, and I'm so proud of him because he continues to strive to be his best self.
Right.
And he suffers from schizophrenia, but he does not let that hold him back. He advocates for himself. My wife is a licensed clinical therapist.
Shout out to that.
Yeah, she is also his conservator. So like they just work together, they advocate for each other, and with his clinical team as well. So he's just going from a very bad situation to being in a much better one. So he's in the program. He's getting the care and help that he needs.
So now, from an outsider looking in, not knowing what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you feel like the services, not knowing, you talk like that wasn't a person you knew, but from an outsider looking in, and that wasn't your wife, even though you're happy that you're married.
Yeah, absolutely.
How would you think from an outsider look, take yourself out of the equation?
Yeah.
Would you think the services are actually helping, or he just trying to navigate and just do the service because that was right in front of him for an opportunity? And keep it a stack with you, keep it real.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we're definitely keeping it real. I'll say it like this. The services are good. And at the same time, since my wife has a background that she has, she's putting in what's missing. It's like, okay, you're dropping the ball here, you're dropping the ball there. Because I can tell they care, and at the same time, they're not used to dealing with someone quite like her. Like, hands-on conservator, nothing slipping through the cracks, and I applaud her for that. So it's like the system could be much, much, much better, and my wife is in a position and has the knowledge and the know-how and the love for her my brother-in-law, to help implement those changes. Like, he would not have the type of freedom that he has if she had advocated and been there and been on committees. So she continues to put in what's needed for this broken system.
Well, shout out to her, yo. Shout out to every black man who's a nice, strong queen in their corner, so we appreciate that.
Yep,
now we're going to shout out, now we're going to test your brain.
Yeah.
Do you know who the 44th president is?
Oh, 44, let's see, 44 has to be Barack, correct?
Good job.
Yeah.
As you working with a mentorship program, this is what I stand for, trying to build up the urban society. A lot of people don't know, but I want to. That's why we have audio podcasts for people that have positive things to listen to during their day. And you can re-listen to it because it's different episodes. It's like probably I got over 200 episodes, and I want people to listen to different people's perspective of what's going on. And some of the beginning probably was kind of like a little bit obnoxious because I was learning how to do it. So if anybody's just some of the beginning ones, as you see the transition, there was growth, and we got deeper into the conversation. So shout out to the beginning, but shout out to the positive things that we learned to establish a better conversation so people should want to listen. Now we're going to test your knowledge. I know you're probably familiar with Tupac Shakur. What is your opinion on KPD that was involved in the murder by sending his nephew from whatever situation occurred in the streets, giving him an illegal gun to kill somebody? What's your opinion on people giving out illegal guns in their society? Or did you just think that's part of the norm?
Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, that's never something I'm going to advocate for or stand by. Like, that just doesn't work. Like, it perpetuates violence. systematic violence, violence between our brothers. It's just something that's like terrible. Like it sucks that these type of things happen. And I know I'm in a certain place in my life where it's like I'm creating art for positivity.
But you see both sides.
I do see both sides.
Okay.
It's tricky because like if you're in a